Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is my first video where you see my face. It's Dharman Engineering, and here on Dharman Engineering we present to you topics mostly on mechanical engineering, science and technology, and other engineering aspects. Today I will start a series of mechanical engineering in general, but my approach to this is that I'll start with the basic things in mechanical engineering. That is the foundation level of mechanical engineering. That will be things like the technical aspect of mechanical engineering. Then I'll move on to talk about the theoretical aspects, more theoretical aspects. So, before I even go very far, the question would be, what do I mean when I say technical aspects? Okay. Technical, if you've ever heard someone say technical, it means the ability to convert theory into practical. So some people will say, okay, me, I just want practical. I don't want to be theoretical. But the issue is you need to have theory in order for you to be practical. There's no such a thing that I just want to be practical and not theoretical. So you need to be knowledgeable about something, and that's why the theoretical aspect comes in. Then the practical aspect is actually doing the actual thing. Of course, the world we live in is a result-oriented world, and people want results, not statements, not words. So, but in order for you to produce effective results, you need to know exactly what it is that you are doing. Otherwise, if you don't know what you are doing, that means you're just guessing. And guessing has no room in the field of mechanical engineering. So, without going too much into statements and talking, let me get started. So the first point I'll start with is, what is mechanical engineering? Then from there, we'll go on to what is the importance of mechanical engineering? Where is it applied? Why is it important for us to have mechanical engineering in our life? So, mechanical engineering is the field which deals with the design, manufacturing, assembling, testing, installation, and maintenance of mechanical equipment, as well as machineries, as well as any devices that we use to perform work. So where is mechanical engineering applied? Generally speaking, mechanical engineering is applied in our day-to-day life. Whether we like it or not, we use mechanical engineering in our day-to-day life. For example, the spoon that we use at home, the knife that we use, it's a product of mechanical engineering. So now, having understood what mechanical engineering is, why do we need mechanical engineering in our day-to-day life? Of course, before people were doing work manual labor. And this kind of work was tedious. This kind of work was dangerous. This kind of work resulted into injuries, accidents, and deaths. So, man invented ways in which work can be simplified by introducing simple machines. From these simple machines, it is where complex machines were developed, or you can call them also as compound machines. And these machines have improved the quality of our life, such that in the modern day today, we can easily process food that we eat. We can easily travel long distances, either by land, by sea, or by air, because of these inventions of mechanical equipment and machineries. The ball pens that we use in our schools, the books that we use in our schools, the cars that we use to go to work, the refrigerators that we use in our homes, the stoves that we use to cook, think of anything is the product of mechanical engineering, and this is how simplified things have become. Also, the off-road mobile equipment, such as excavators, graders, all these things that we use to make roads. This is examples that I can give about mechanical engineering. So from these expressions that I've made, we can all see the importance of which mechanical engineering plays. Including in the medical fields, mechanical engineering plays a role. So now that we have understood, then how can one become a mechanical engineer? So for one to become a mechanical engineer, there are two ways in which you can go about it. Either you can go into a school and study mechanical engineering, or you can go into the industry and become an apprentice of mechanical engineering. When I talk about industry, I'm not talking about going to a factory. A factory is an example of an industry, but the industry means that you go into the field itself, the field where mechanical engineering is being applied, and learn from someone who has been either to school for that particular field. They will teach you how the work is done, theoretically and practically. Now, when you go to school, you will study either as a tradesman, or as a craftsman, or as a technician, or as a technologist, or as a full-time engineer, or you start to be a full-time engineer and advance into masters, doctorates, etc. Now we'll start from the field of a tradesman. So let's start with the field of a tradesman. What are you going to learn as a tradesman? So as a tradesman, you're going to learn 90% practical and 10% theory. So you will be exposed to the machines or mechanical equipment. You'll be taught the theories while you are working on those machines. You disassemble them, assemble them. Well, during the time of which you are disassembling, you inspect these components and you'll be told, okay, what goes wrong with them and how to correct the situation. But we'll cover this more as we go into maintenance practices. But I just wanted to give you a feel. Then we move on to craftsman. So as a craftsman, you're going to study the practical, let's say 70%, and theory 30%. You will do much of your time, you'll be doing practicals, while 30% will be doing theory. So the theories that you learn, you apply them to the practical aspect. You'll be actually dismantling mechanical equipments and inspect them, replace the parts, fix them, test them, and then run the equipment and store it back. Now these trades and craftsmen, this kind of qualifications or this kind of trainings, they take less time to complete. They take about 1 year to 2 years. And some trade courses, they take about 3 months to a year. Especially in the case of tradesmen, it takes 3 months to a year to complete, and a craftsman takes 2 years in total to complete in most cases. But if you become an apprentice, you are more likely to take about 3 years in the craftsman field. Then technician. Now this is a very, very important field. Though many people don't appreciate it, but it's a very, very important field of engineering, because who is a technician? A technician is the bridge between the professional mechanical engineer or the professional engineer and the craftsman. This is who a technician is. So in the field of mechanical engineering, we just said a technician is the bridge between the professional mechanical engineer and the craftsman, such that the technician has the theoretical knowledge of an engineer and the practical skills of a craftsman. So what do technicians do? Technicians, what they generally do is as follows. As I said, mechanical engineering is a very broad field. It's a very broad field. So technicians generally, they assist mechanical engineers during designs. They sit down together with the mechanical engineers on the design tables. The technicians, these are the people, they understand the ground level, they understand what's happening on the practical level, on the industrial level, on the ground level. They are the ones who are with the machines now and then. They are the ones who attend to the machine. They are the ones who understand the ins and out of the machines. They know the components of the machines. They know when the component is worn out. They know when the machine is malfunctioning. They know how to troubleshoot, how to diagnose faults. They understand the machines very well. So they offer that valuable information to the engineers during design. They are able to give estimates. They are able to tell the engineer how a material is likely to behave from their experience, how the materials has been, that particular material they want to select has behaved in the past. These are the technicians. They have the practical knowledge. They are very good. They understand the engineering drawings. They understand the manufacturing processes. They understand the cost estimation. They understand the manufacturing processes. They understand the sciences behind the engineering aspect, and they understand the real-world experience of machine operations, how machines functions in the real world. So going further, they advise mechanical engineers. Apart from advising mechanical engineers, they take the design of the mechanical engineer and go with them in the factory, convert those ideas into engineering drawings, and then go into the machine shops and other production facilities and produce those components and mechanical machines and those components, assemble those components into functional machines and then test them and run them and maintain them until those machineries run out of their service life. So going further, the technicians, I'm going to take some time on this part before I move to technologists and engineers. Going further, the technicians, they give advice to the customers. They are able to interpret to the customers how that particular machinery or equipment will function. We call it technical support. So technical support can be through the advice verbally, or can be done via practical. Because most equipment manufacturers who manufacture equipment, they go in the field and repair for the manufacturers, the technicians. So now, technician courses take about 2 years to 3 years in a conventional educational system, and can take up to 4 years as an apprentice. So what do you learn as a technician? As a technician, you learn subjects like engineering mathematics, engineering drawings, engineering science, engineering mechanics, workshop technology, theories and practicals. You learn about manufacturing processes, theory and practical, plant maintenance, theory and practicals. You learn about machine drawing. You're going to learn about CAD, that's computer-aided drawing. You're going to learn about metrology, science of measurements. You're going to learn about fluid mechanics. You're going to learn about thermodynamics. Those you're going to learn them at the basic level, not full time, but at the basic level, especially like fluid mechanics and thermodynamics. You're going to learn about communication skills. You're going to learn about management and many more. And it's this thing that you learn, you bring them together and apply them in the field. So you gain more practical experience as you work in the field of mechanical engineering and as you design mechanical equipment. So technicians, they play a very important role in the industry because they are the oil that keeps the machine running. Moving from the technician, we come to the technologists. The technologist is a specialized field in mechanical engineering or any other engineering profession. So in a mechanical engineering, technologist is sort of like an entry level into the management, supervisory roles. So mostly they learn components of subjects that the technicians do, but they don't go in details like technicians, but they learn the components of those subjects, and then they learn other degree-related subjects, which gives them more theoretical knowledge in terms of mechanical engineering. They are able also to design, because they do learn machine design as a subject. So they learn a full-time thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, theory of machines, strength of materials, and other subjects that they apply in designing. And also this course prepares them to go furthermore into upgrading to become a full-time engineer. It becomes easy for them because they have done those foundational subjects of engineering. Then now the engineers, they themselves, the ones who have done degrees going upward, they study in details most of these theoretical subjects, such as strength of materials, engineering drawings, fundamentals of electricity, machine design, theory of machines. They study about automotive engineering, they study about aircraft engineering, they study about biomedical engineering, they study about concurrent engineering, heat and mass transfer, they study so many more subjects, and then as they finish their courses, they will choose certain subjects that they will specialize in. They also study about renewable energy. So when you do a degree in mechanical engineering, it gives you an advantage in many areas because you have an automatic entry system into the management system of the company, number one. Number two, you have a vast collection of engineering subject information such as engineering mathematics, which you have studied, engineering mechanics, which stems from engineering science, of which you are able to do analytical things. You study full the theory of machines, so you are able to easily design machines and analyze them and understand them, and you are able also to run a project because you do what's called project management, and you are able to design machines that are able to function. But just going through a conventional school will not make you an engineer. Yes, you become an engineer just on paper that you're an engineer because you've gone to school, you studied, and you've got a qualification and the licenses. But the true engineering comes from the ability of the person to conceptualize what machine they want to design, and to be able to design it, and to be able to manufacture that machine, and to ensure that machine works economically, safely, environmentally friendly, and also gives return on investment. So from here, I will end part 1. I will continue in part 2. Thank you very much for your time. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. See you in the next chapter.